thought I had everything ready. Okay, I'm gonna get my other laptop ready. I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. But I'm gonna read in Joshua. I think I was on where I left off. I might be on chapter 10. We'll see. Take me to. Oh, it's right there. Cool. Why is that there? There we go. It's cool to be live again. I ain't been live. I don't know, a week, I guess. I don't know. Add to stage. No. Why is it 3 of my accounts in here? Oh, okay. I thought it was 3. I got it. Let me go to check something real quick. I started watching this godly movie. I forgot what it's called, but because I be needing some stuff to watch instead of all this negative stuff on YouTube. So I'm watching all those. Find my account. There we go. Whoa. Why does it sound like that? What? I thought I just muted it. Oh, it's StreamYard. That's weird. That is weird right there. Okay, well, now I know that's working. Oh, man. Let's get this going. I actually got some energy. So, gonna read Joshua, I think 10. The sun stands still. Seems about right. Yeah. I believe it. Yep. I remember that name. King Adonai Siddiq. Yeah. Let me turn my phone volume down because I know if it rings, it's going to get on my nerves. Galatians chapter 1 verse 6, and it reads, I marvel that ye are so. Somebody asked me to check out their video. Let me turn this one down too. Looks like it's already down. Oh, yep, it already is. Okay, we're good. Let me share the screen and I will be good. Not that one. I do like that one, but this one. Better. I can just take my camera out, but whatever. Whatever. We're good. Okay, so hopefully this will feed, not speed. Feed us spiritually. So let me move my little notebook over there. I got so much on this table. Okay, it says when y'all can see that. Bam, yeah, good. When King Adonai Zedek of Jerusalem heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, doing to Ai and its king as he had done to Jericho and its king. And did I read this other chapter? I don't think so. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But I did read this part. I at least read the verse 8 in the book. Okay, I guess I'll start where it says, and had utterly destroyed it, doing to Ai and its king as he had done to Jericho and its king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them. He became greatly frightened because Gibeon was a large city, like one of the royal cities, and was larger than Ai, and all its men were warriors. So King Adoni-Zedek of Jerusalem sent a message to King Hoham of Hebron, to King Hiram of Jarmuth, to King Japhiah or Phia. I never seen a name spelled like that before. What's up, Sheena? Of Lachish, and to King. I skipped the line out. Let me scroll down. Lachish, and to King Deber of Eglon, Eglon, saying, "Come up and help me, and let us attack Gibeon, for it has made peace with Joshua and with the Israelites." Then 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon, gathered their forces and went up with all their armies and camped against Gibeon and made war against it. And the Gibeonites sent to Joshua at the camp in Gilgal, saying, "Do not abandon your servants. Come up to us quickly." What chapter? This is chapter 10, verse 6 in Joshua. Chapter 10, verse 6. Man. So I'll start over at 6. It says, "And the Gibeonites sent to Joshua at the camp in Gilgal, saying, 'Do not abandon your servants. Come up to us quickly and save us and help us, for all you are, for all the kings of the Amorites who live in the hill country are gathered against us.' So Joshua went up from Gilgal, he and all the fighting force with him, all the mighty warriors. The Lord said," so this now God is talking, and he's not going to talk a lot, but at least in this part, the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not fear them, for I have handed them over to you. Not one of them shall stand before you." And that's it. That's all God say for right now anyway. Then it goes back to Joshua. It says, "So Joshua came on them suddenly, having marched up all night from Gilgal, and the Lord threw them into a panic before Israel, who afflicted a great slaughter on them at Gibeon, chased them by the way of the ascent of Beth Horon, and struck them down as far as, Azekah and Makeda, as they fled before Israel. While they were going down the slope of Beth Horon, the Lord threw down huge stones from heaven on them as far as Azekah." I don't remember that part, but okay. I wonder if that. Oh, wow. Okay, I got it. I got the image in my mind. I was curious about what it would look like. I got it. Okay. Um, huge stones from heaven on them as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died because of hailstones than the Israelites killed. Okay, I kind of do remember this. With the sword. That'd be scary right there. You go on a war with somebody, and all of a sudden, some hailstones from heaven start coming down on you. Yeah. 12. On the day when the Lord gave the Amorites over to the Israelites, Joshua spoke to the Lord, and he said in the sight of Israel, "Sun, stand still at Gibeon." Okay, so I just noticed the way it words it. It says that Joshua spoke to the Lord, and he said in the sight of Israel, sun stand still at Gibeon, but the this is the first time I caught that. I thought he just said to the sun stand still and stuff like that. Hmm, interesting. Okay. So it says sun stand still at Gibeon and moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still and the moon stopped until the nation took vengeance on their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jasher? Question mark. The sun stopped in mid-heaven and did not hurry to set for about a whole day. There has been no day like it before or since when the Lord heeded a human voice, for the Lord fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned, and all Israel with him to the camp at Gilgal. I like the way they worded it, though, compared to the KJV. I have no issue with that. Meanwhile, these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in the cave at Makkedah. And so I wonder, was Makkedah like a mountain? I don't know. All right, so then it says at Makkedah, and it was told Joshua the 5 kings have been found hidden in the cave at Makkedah. Joshua said, roll large stones against the mouth of the cave and set men by it to guard them, but do not stay there yourselves. Pursue your enemies and attack them from the rear. Do not let them enter their towns, for the Lord your God has given them into your hand. When Joshua and the Israelites had finished inflicting a very great slaughter on them until they were wiped out, and when the survivors had entered into the fortified towns, all the people returned safe to Joshua and the camp at Makkedah. No one dared to speak against any of the Israelites. Then Joshua said, open the mouth of the cave and bring those 5 kings out to me from the cave. They did so and brought the 5 kings out to him from the cave. The king of Jerusalem, the king of, oh, I'm sorry. I had to realize that they hadn't gotten all the land yet. I'm like, the king of Jerusalem, wait, what? But anyway, um, where was that at? The king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon or Eglon. When they brought the kings out to Joshua, Joshua summoned all the Israelites and said to the chiefs of the warriors who had gone with him, come near, put your feet on the necks of these kings. Then they came near and put their feet on their necks. And Joshua said to them, do not be afraid or dismayed, be strong and courageous, for thus the Lord will do to all the enemies against whom you fight. Afterward, Joshua struck them down and put them to death, and he hung them on 5 trees. And they hung on the trees until evening. That's another one. Okay. It's the third time something like that has happened, where they hung them on trees, but they would take the bodies down before the sunset. And it says at sunset, Joshua commanded, and they took them down from the trees and threw them into the cave where they had hidden themselves. Interesting. I'm thinking about how people be finding these bodies in these caves. And right there, this is possibly why. Then it goes on to say, they set large stones against the mouth of the cave, which remain to this very day. Joshua took Makkedah on that day and struck it and its king with the edge of the sword. He utterly destroyed every person in it. He left no one remaining, and he did to the king of Makkedah as he had done to the king of Jericho. Then Joshua passed on from Makkedah and all Israel with him to Libnah and fought against Libnah. The Lord gave it also and its king into the hand of Israel, and he struck it with the edge of the sword, and every person in it, he left no one remaining in it. And he did to his king as he had done to the king of Jericho. Next, Joshua passed on from Libnah and all Israel with him to Lachish and laid siege to it and assaulted it. The Lord gave Lachish into the hand of Israel, and he took it on the second day and struck it with the edge of the sword and every person in it, as he had done to Libnah. The king Horam of Gezer came up to help Lachish, and Joshua struck him and his people, leaving him no survivors. From Lachish, Joshua passed on with all Israel to Eglon, and they laid siege to it and assaulted it. And they took it that day and struck it with the edge of the sword, and every person in it he utterly destroyed that day, as he had done to Lachish. Then Joshua went up with all Israel from Eglon to Hebron. They assaulted it and took it and struck it with the edge of the sword, and its king, and its towns, and every person in it. He left no one remaining, just as he had done to Eglon, and utterly destroyed it with every person in it. Then Joshua with all Israel turned back to Debir and assaulted it, and he took it with its kings and all its towns. They struck them with the edge of the sword and utterly destroyed every person in it. He left no one remaining, just as he had done to Hebron, and as he had done to Libnah, and I was going to say as, and its king. So he did to Debir and its king. So Joshua defeated the whole land, the hill country, and the Negev, and the lowland, and the slopes, and all their kings. He left no one remaining, but utterly destroyed all that breathed, as the Lord God of Israel commanded. And Joshua defeated them from Kadesh Barnea to Gaza, and all the country of Goshen as far as Gibeon. Excuse me. Joshua took all these kings in their land at one time. Excuse me, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to the camp at Gilgal. When King Jabin of Hazor heard of this, he sent to King Jobab of Madon, to the king of Shimron, to the king of Saph, and to the kings who were in the northern hill country. And okay, so they might have gotten the south. I don't know which part they got so far, but if they're in the north, I guess they got the south. I don't know. But and to the kings who were in the northern hill country and in the Araba south, oh well, maybe not, south of Shinirath, and in the lowland, and in Naphoth Dor on the west, the Canaanites, to the Canaanites in the east and the west, the Amorites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, and the Jebusites in the hill country, and the Hivites under Hermon in the land of Mizpah. They came out with all their troops, a great army, in number like the sand on the seashore, with very many horses and chariots. All these kings joined their forces and came and camped together at the waters of Merom to fight with Israel. And the Lord, okay, God is going to talk again. 11:6. All right. And the Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid of them. For tomorrow at this time I will hand over all of them slain to Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire. And that's it. That's all God says right there. Let me highlight that real quick. So Joshua came suddenly on them with all his fighting force, by the waters of Merom and fell on them. And the Lord handed them over to Israel, who attacked them and chased them as far as Great Sidon and Misrephoth, Maim, and eastward as far as the valley of Mizpeh. They struck them down until they had left no one remaining. And Joshua did to them as the Lord commanded him. He hamstrung their horses and burned their chariots with fire. Joshua turned back at that time and took Hazor and struck his king down with the sword. Before that time, Hazor was the head of all those kingdoms, and they put to the sword all who were in it, utterly destroying them. There was no one left who breathed, and he burned Hazor with fire, and all the towns of those kings, and all their kings. Joshua took and struck them with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded. But Israel burned none of the towns that stood on mounds except Hazor, which Joshua did burn. All the spoil of these towns and the livestock the Israelites took for their booty, but all the people they struck down with the edge of the sword until they had destroyed them, and they did not leave any who breathed, as the Lord had commanded his servant Moses. So Moses commanded Joshua, and Joshua did. I left out so, I believe. And so Joshua did. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord had commanded Moses. So Joshua took all that land, the hill country, and all the Negev, and all the land of Goshen, and the lowland, and the Arabah, and the hill country of Israel, and its lowland, from Mount Halak, which rises towards Seir, as far as Baal Gad, in the valley of Lebanon, below Mount Hermon. He took all their kings, struck them down, and put them to death. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a town that made peace with the Israelites except the Hevites. Slick. Okay. The inhabitants of Gibeon all were taken in battle, for it was the Lord's doing to harden their hearts, so that they would come against Israel in battle. Smart. Makes sense. In order that they might be utterly destroyed and might receive no mercy, but be exterminated, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. At that time, Joshua came and wiped out the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua utterly destroyed them with their towns. None of the Anakim was left in the land of the Israelites. Some remained only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod. So Joshua took the whole land according to all that the Lord had spoken to Moses. And Joshua gave it for an inheritance to Israel, according to their tribal allotments, and the land had rest from war. Now these are the kings of the land, whom the Israelites defeated, whose land they occupied before the Jordan toward the east, from the Wadi Arnon to Mount Hermon, with all the Arabah eastward. King Sihon of the Amorites, who lived at Heshbon and ruled from Aroer, which is on the edge of the Wadi Arnon, and from the middle of the valley as far as the river Jabbok. The boundary of the Ammonites, that is half of Gilead, and the Arabah to the sea of Chinirath, eastward, and in the direction of Beth Jeshimoth, to the sea of Arabah, the Dead Sea, toward, there was no toward, southward, my bad, southward to the foot of the slopes of Pisgah, and King Og of Bashan, one of the last of the Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled over Mount Hermon and Silicah and all Bashan to the boundary of the Gershurites and the Maccathites and over half of Gilead to the boundary of King Sihon of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the Israelites defeated them. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave their land for possession to the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh. The following are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the Israelites defeated on the west side of the Jordan, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halek, that rises towards Seir. And Joshua gave their land to the tribes of Israel as a possession according to their allotments. In the hill country, in the lowland, in the Arabah, in the slopes, in the wilderness, and in the Negev, the land of the Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. The way they got this worded right here. The king of Jericho, one. The king of AI, one. I mean, is that how it's supposed to be? Like, the way these ones are all over there like that. It's just weird. I gotta shrink it real quick just to make sure. Oh, no. Hold on. Is it shift? No, it's not shift. It's supposed to be control, right? It's still like that? What? Why? I don't know. Am I supposed to read the one? Let me look in the book. Hold on, what? 11:11, right? I think. Let me see. And wait, this is chapter 12. Okay, 12, 11. It's like this in the book too. What? All right, well, I guess I'll just read it like I've never seen that before. Okay. Oh, wait. The king of Hebron. I'm curious if I'm supposed to read it. Let's see it if I'm supposed to read it. One, the king of Jarmuth. One. If I don't read it, it'll just be all the kings. Sounds like the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezer, the king of Deber, the king of Geter, the king of Hormah, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adulam. I want to see the Hebrew for this part. Like, I wonder what the Hebrew looked like if it looks like this when they translated it. But anyway, I don't know if I said the king of Libnah, but just in case. 15, the king of Libnah, the king of Adulam, the king of Makeda, the king of Bethel, the king of Tafua, the king of Epher, the king of Ephek, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazor, the king of Shimron, Meron, excuse me, the king of Achsaph, the king of Tanach, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kadesh, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, which I don't remember, I don't think, the king of Dor. This is why I can't be on Facebook while I'm doing the call. I didn't accept the call. I tried to end the call. Okay, where was we at? The King Dion, go away. Okay, I'm gonna have to get off Facebook if you're gonna keep calling me. All right, let me see. I had an open tab on Facebook already. I didn't even pay that any attention. So what was I now? The king of Dor. I'm gonna just go back to 23. The king of Dor and Naphath. Dor, the king of Goyim in Galilee. The king of Tirzah, 31 kings in all. Let me see. I am curious to see what the Hebrews say. I guess I'll check it later. Is that the end? That is the end. 1. That's the only translation I've seen that does that, all those ones on the side like that. Never seen that in any other translation yet. Was that Joshua 12? What did I just type? In Joshua? Joshua 12:11. No, it starts at 9. Okay, this one has the 1, 2, but it's closer together. The king of Libnah 1. The king of Adullam 1. Dang. So it really is in the Hebrew text. Like, just all these ones. Interesting. What word is 1? Oh, that one. Yeah, I believe that's in there. I see that. I see that Hebrew word a lot. So, yeah, I believe it. Oh, I see it. Mm-hmm. What was I at? Here. 13. Let me go back to StreamYard. I wasn't even. Sheena says, sorry, Sheena, I couldn't even get it out properly. Please pray for my mother-in-law. We just called 911, rushing to the hospital. Okay, I'll be back. Let me do that real quick. I'm gonna get some water too. All right, y'all. I'll be back. Hold on. I just came back quiet, didn't I? I ain't say a word. It's all good. I'm here. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready to start again. Um, Thanks for asking me to pray, Sheena. I just did it. Okay. 13. Oh, God is gonna talk. Okay. Go ahead and get this. All right, let's start. It says, Now Joshua was old and advanced in years, and the Lord said to him, You are old and advanced in years, and very much of the land still remains to be possessed. This is the land that still remains, and the regions of the Philistines, and all those of the Geshurites, or Geshurites, from the Shihor, which is east of Egypt, northward to the boundary of Ekron. It is reckoned as Canaanite. Did I say that properly? Yeah, it is reckoned as Canaanite. There are 5 rulers of the Philistines, those of Gaza, Ashdod, Askelon, Goth, and Ekron, and those of the Avim in the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Murah that belongs to the Sidonians, to Aphek, to the boundary of the Amorites, and the land of the Gibeonites, and all abandoned toward the east, from Baal-gad below Mount Hermon to Lebo Hamath, all the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon to Misrephoth Maim, even all the Sidonians, I will myself drive them out from before the Israelites. Only allot the land to Israel for an inheritance, as I have commanded you. Now therefore, divide this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes, and the half tribe of Manasseh. With the other half tribe of Manasseh, the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance, which Moses gave them beyond the Jordan eastward, and Moses the servant of the Lord gave them, as Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. From Aroer, which is on the edge of the Wadi, Arnon, and the town that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland from Medeba as far as Dibon, and all the cities of King Sihon of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, as far as the boundary of the Ammonites, and Gilead, and the region of the Geshurites, and Maacathites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan to Salika, all the kingdom of Og and Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei. He alone was left of the survivors of the Rephaim. Okay. These Moses had defeated and driven out. Yet the Israelites did not drive out the Geshurites or the Maacathites, but Geshur and Maacath live within Israel to this day. To the tribe of Levi alone, Moses gave no inheritance. The offerings by fire to the Lord of Israel are their inheritance, as he said to them. Moses gave an inheritance to the tribe of the Reubenites according to their clans. Their territory was from Aroer, which is on the edge of the Wadi Arnon, and the town that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland by Medeba, with Heshbon and all its towns that are in the tableland, Dibon and Bamoth, Baal, Bethbaal, Meon, and Jahaz, and Kedemoth, and Mephath, and Kiriathaim, and Sibmah, and Zereth, Shihar, on the hill of the valley, and Beth Peor, and the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshimoth, that is all the towns of the tableland, and all the kingdom of King Sihon of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses defeated, with the leaders of Midian, Evi, and Rechem, and Zor, and Hur, and Reba, as princes of Sihon, who lived in the land, along with the rest of those they put to death. The Israelites also put to the sword Balaam, son of Beor, who practiced divination. And the border of the Reubenites was the Jordan and its banks. This was the inheritance of the Reubenites, according to their families, with their towns and villages. Oh, you're welcome, Sheena. Moses gave an inheritance also to the tribe of the Gadites, according to their families. Their territory was Jazer, and all their towns of and all the towns of Gilead, and half the land of the Ammonites to Aroer, which is east of Rabbah, and from Heshbon to Ramoth Mizpeh and Betonim, and from Mahanaim, I can't say that name properly. Mahanaim, I'll just say that, to the territory of Deber, and in the valley of Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, and Zaphon, the rest of the kingdom of King Sihon of Heshbon, the Jordan and its banks, as far as the lower end of the sea of Shinnereth, eastward beyond the Jordan. This is the inheritance of the Gadites according to their clans, with their towns and villages. Moses gave an inheritance to the half tribe of Manasseh. It was allotted to the half tribe of Manasseh according to their families. Their territory extended from Mahanaim through all Bashan, the whole kingdom of King Og of Bashan, and all the settlements of Jer, which are in Bashan, 60 towns, and half of Gilead, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, the towns of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. These were allotted to the people of Machir, son of Manasseh, according to their clans, for half the Machirites. These are the inheritances that Moses distributed in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan, east of Jericho. But to the tribe of Levi, Moses gave no inheritance. The Lord God of Israel is their inheritance, as he said to them. These are the inheritances that the Israelites received in the land of Canaan, which the priest Eleazar and Joshua, son of Nun, and the heads of the families of the tribes of the Israelites distributed to them. Their inheritance was by lot, as the Lord had commanded Moses. For the 9 1/2 tribes, I had to make sure I read that right. For the 9 1/2 tribes, for Moses had given an inheritance to the 2 1/2 tribes beyond the Jordan, but to the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. For the people of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and no portion was given to the Levites in the land, but only towns to live in, with their pasture lands for their flocks and herds. The Israelites did as the Lord commanded Moses. They allotted the land. Then the people of Judah came to Joshua at Gilgal, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said to him, "You know what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, in Kadesh Barnea, concerning you and me. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought him an honest report. But my companions who went up with me made the heart of the people melt. Yet I wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God, and Moses swore on that day, saying, surely the land on which your foot has trodden shall be an inheritance for you and your children forever, because you have wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. And now, as you see, the Lord has kept me alive, as he said these 45 years since the time that the Lord spoke this word to Moses. While Israel was journeying through the wilderness, and here I am today, 85 years old. I am still as strong today as I was on the day that Moses sent me. My strength now is as my strength was then for war and for going and coming. So now give me this hill country of which the Lord spoke on that day. When you heard on that day how the Anakim were there with great fortified cities, it may be that the Lord will be with me, and I shall drive them out, as the Lord said. Then Joshua blessed him and gave Hebron to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, for an inheritance. So Hebron became their inheritance. Became the inheritance of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, to this day, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Now the name of Hebron formerly was Kiriath Arba. This Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim, and the land had rest from war. The lot, let me put this back on here real quick. Oh my goodness. That bottle right there. Okay. The lot for the tribe of the people of Judah, according to their families, reached southward to the boundary of Edom, the wilderness of Zin at the farthest south, and their south boundary ran from the end of the Dead Sea. From the bay that faces southward, it goes out southward of the ascent of, Akrabim, passes along to Zin, and goes up south of Kadesh Barnea, along by Hezron up to Adur, makes a turn to Karka, passing along to Asmon, goes out by the Wadi of Egypt, and comes to its end at the sea. This shall be your south boundary. And the east boundary is the Dead Sea to the mouth of the Jordan. And the boundary on the north side runs from the bay of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan. And the boundary goes up to Beth Hagla and passes along north of Beth Araba. And the boundary goes up to the stone of Bohan, Reuben's son. And the boundary goes up to Deber from the valley of Achor, and so northward, turning toward Gilgal, which is opposite the ascent of Adumim. I think I can say it that way, which is on the south side of the valley. And the boundary passes along to the waters of En Shemesh and ends at En Rogel. Then the boundary goes up by the valley of the son of Hinnom at the southern slope of the Jebusites, that is, Jerusalem. And the boundary goes up to the top of the mountain that lies over against the valley of Hinnom. On the west, at the northern end of the valley of Rephaim, then the boundary extends from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah. And from there, the towns of Mount Ephron. Then the boundary bends around to Bala, that is, Kiriath Jearim, and the boundary circles west of Bala to Mount Seir, passes along to the northern slope of Mount Jerim, that is Chesalon, and goes down to Beth Shemesh and passes along by Timnath. The boundary goes out to the slope of the hill north of Ekron. Then the boundary bends around to Shai-Kiron and passes along to Mount Bala and goes out to Jabneel. Then the boundary comes to an end at the sea, and the west boundary was the Mediterranean with its coast. This is the boundary surrounding the people of Judah according to their families. According to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, he gave to Caleb son of Jephunneh a portion among the people of Judah. Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak, and Caleb drove out. Yeah, that's what it says. And Caleb drove out from there the three sons of Anak: Shishai. I don't think I said that properly. I did. Shishai, Ahiman, and Talmai. The descendants of Anak. From there he went up against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir formerly was Kiriath Sepher. And Caleb said, whoever attacks Kiriath Sepher and takes it to him, I will give my daughter Achsah as wife. Othniel, son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him his daughter Achsah as wife. When she came to him, she urged him to ask her father for a field. As she dismounted from her donkey, Caleb said to her, what do you wish? She said to him, give me a present, since you have set me in the land of the Negev. Give me springs of water as well. So Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Judah, according to their families, the towns belonging to the tribe of the people of Judah in the extreme south, toward the boundary of Edom, where Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kina, Demonah, Adadah, Kedesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Watelem, Bealoth, Hazor, Hadattah, Kiriath, Hezron, that is Hazor, Amam, Shema, Moladah, Hazor, Gada, Heshmon, Beth Pelet, Hazar, Shaul, my bad. Beersheba. I think that might be the first time I saw that. Maybe not. I don't know. Biziothia, something like that. Biziothia. Yeah. Bala. Oh no, that's right. Bala. I'm Ezim, El Tolad, Chisel, Horma, Ziklag, Mad, Mana, San Sana, Libaoth, Shilhim, Ain, and Rimmon, in all 29 towns with their villages. And in the town, and in the lowland, there was no town in that verse. Oh, goodness. Okay. And in the lowland, Ishtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, En Ganim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adulam, Soko, Azekah, Shariam, Adai Thiam, Gedera, Gederothiam, 14 towns with their villages. We got some more. Zenan, Hadashah, Migdal Gad, Dylan, Mispi, Joktheel, Lachish, Baska, I don't know if I heard it out, Eglon, Kaban, Lamam, Chitlish, kind of reminds me of chitlins, but okay. Or chitterlings, I don't know how it's really spelled, but then it says Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Nalma, and Makeda, 16 towns with their villages, Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Itha, yeah, no, it's Itha, okay. Ashna, Ezeb, trying to say that I in there. I just say Keela, Achzib, Shah, 9 towns with their villages, Ekron with its dependencies and its villages from Ekron to the sea, all that were near Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod is towns and its villages. Gaza is towns and its villages. To the Wadi of Egypt and the Great Sea with its coast, and in the hill country, Shamir, Jatir, Soko, Dana, Koriath, Sana, that is Deber, Anab, Estimo, Anim, Goshen, Holan, and Gilo, 11 towns with their villages, Arab, Duma, Ishan, Janim, Beth, Tapua, Afika, Humta, Koriath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zior, 9 towns with their villages, Ma'an, or I ain't gonna just leave it like that. Ma'an, Carmel, Zip, Judah, Jezreel, Jock, Diem, something like that. Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnath, 10 towns with their villages. Ho, there we go. Ho. Beth Azor, Gedor, Maraf, Beth Anaf, and El Tikan, 6 towns with their villages. Kariath Baal, that is Kariath Jerim, and Rabbah, 2 towns with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Araba, Maiden, Sikakah, Nibshan, the city of Salt, and En Gedi, 6 towns with their villages. But the people of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So the Jebusites lived with the people of Judah in Jerusalem to this day. I think I'm gonna stop right here. So, what time is it? 9:20. Oh, I got 2 of them over there. That's what that is. I do gotta do one more thing though. So, I suppose I'm officially done with my little chapters for today. So I got the 16. and I'll pick up there tomorrow. Whether I'm live or not, I'll still pick it up. God will. And that chapter is short too. I'm skimming through. Yeah, the rest of it's just gonna be them getting it. The rest of the inheritance looks like. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool with me. So I'm about to be on Judges. You know what I mean? So out of all these words, I'm gonna find a word to look up in Hebrew because people could not drive out. What word? Oh, right. How about Joshua 1:8? It's gonna be a long verse. Usually it would pop up. Oh, ooh, yeah, this is a long. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna do my other daily goal. So if y'all want to stick around, you can. I'm gonna read this in Hebrew to the best of my ability, and then I don't even have to do the second part. But the second part is to look up at least one word in Hebrew a day, which I already did earlier, but I may do it again. But as long as I get it done, it doesn't matter to me. And then I guess I'll go eat or something. Or if y'all want to chat a little bit, we'll do that. But whatever. Okay, so here we go. Y'all can listen to me struggle. Most of the pronunciation and the sounds will come from the Lashawan Kadesh Hebrew. It won't be mostly modern Hebrew with the vowels and all that. So it says, and I do like reading from when I do it but in book form. I do like doing it with an interlinear. But sometimes I do it like this too. And then I just pick a word depending on, you know. But it kind of just overall just reminds me to just look up Hebrew definitions like I used to. I used to just look through it like a dictionary, like I used to with a dictionary in English and just find out what certain words mean. So anyway, Allah, Yam, Wash. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I keep burping. Excuse me. I think that's the S. Sometimes I gotta verify it. Oh, they even told me when I got the little mouse over it. So yeah, it's the S. Ain't that the P though? Yeah, it is the P. They say it's Seeper. I wouldn't say it like that. But anyway, let me move this mouse out of the way. So it says Sapar. Kind of hot now. Oh, I need to heat. Never mind. I'm gonna leave I was gonna take my little jacket off. Sapar, Hath. That's most likely not all together, but Ha. Sometimes I say it together, but most likely that Ha is not really connected to the word. Ha. Thal. Ra. Oh, Torah. See that all the time. Hazah. I guess I should do like this to show y'all where I'm at. Cause y'all probably like, where you at? But I'm right here. I didn't even think about that. I guess I'll try to follow along like that. So this word, sorry, mop. Let's see, mop yak. I have no idea what that means. I remember this. This word looks familiar, kind of. Well, no, it doesn't. It kind of looks like another word I looked up lately. Wahag yath. Ball. Not with an L, with a W. Or you can say boo. depending on depending on what sound system you're using. It is funny to say boo though, it's easier too. Okay, this one next is y'all ma'am or y'all mom. Let's see, this one is wa lay la. Layla? Kind of reminds me of Lilith. Kind of want to know what it is now. Anyway, lamb, or I could say la. That's the end right there. So how am I gonna say that? Laman or Lamin? I'm gonna say Lamin. Okay, then we got that kind of sounds like a Chinese word. Anyway, then we got this next part. We got the tha, then we got the sha, then the mar. Tha Shamar. Dang, that's my nephew name, Shamar, without the tha. Anyway, then we got the la, then we got the I, then we got the sha, then we got the wa, not tha. How I'm gonna say that? I'm gonna say Lee. Lee. You can say shoots, or you can try to pronounce that W, which is harder, and then you say Lee. Start barking. Lee Shawath or Lee Shaft. Can you say Shaft? Yeah, you could. Okay, you can say Lee Shaft or Lee Shawath or Lee what is it? Shoot. Lee Shoot. Anyway, then you got the cow, two cows right behind each other. Oh, cacao. That was easy. Hakath Wob. I don't know what that means. With that boo, you got the boo again. Or you can say ball, not with an L, with a W. And you got the K. That's an easy one. I know what that means. Os. Os. Kind of sounds like a profanity word, but hey, it's what it is. And then you got the layach. The layach. Okay, then you got the layach. The layach. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. And then we got the off. Okay, we got the cock. That's what these two at the end is gonna say. Dark cock. All right. I don't know what it means. Then we got the wob. What? How am I saying it with the Z? Was. And this one. Fa sha ka y'all. Kayal. Sha kayal. Fa sha kayal. Or Thash kayal. I'll prefer that. Okay, cool. Done. What word was I curious about this one? Layout. It is a Lilith. What I thought. Wait, is that Lilith? I think that's the word that's connected to Lilith. If not, no, it's not Lilith, but it's close. It reminds me of Lilith, but let me go into it. So Lilith. It is Lilith. Oh God. I'll find it. Maya. Lay y'all, ya. There it is. There's Lilith. Street Child. It reminded me of that. Okay. Night. Lie y'all. Okay, I'm done. My goals are done. So I hope that edifies somebody. I don't know what Dion wanted. But I know I'm hungry now. So I'm about to go. I don't know if y'all got any questions for me, but if you do, you can ask. If not, then I'll just leave. But I'm gonna go in the kitchen real quick. And if y'all got anything, type it out and I'll read it. And I'll talk to y'all. I'll be right back. You got it bad, man. I tell you, you got it bad. All right, y'all. Look, this playing. I'm gonna go get this apple pie. I'll be right back. I'm in here tripping, y'all. I'm in here tripping. It took me a while right there. I still wasn't done. I tell you. I wasn't even done. I feel better though. Which is good. Kinda didn't feel too good earlier today. Was that today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday leading into today. I only got one missed call, which is good. Thank God. Okay. I got me a little apple pie. What's today? Monday? Mm-hmm. No question. Okay, I see something about a dream. I guess I'll read that offline. Y'all do that. Okay. What is this? Oh. If you change your mind, click the lock to get Microsoft Edge permission. Good. All is well. I'm gonna eat and read that. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here and read that. He speak to the saints. I hope y'all getting spiritually fed though, somehow. I got a little bit in today so far.